Well, here I am. The Galapagos Islands. 2050. Good to know there's still a place you can get away from it all. Oh, hello. Well, hello there. I'm the Professor. Nice to meet you. What an interesting chap. Oh, hello. Camera on the beach. That is a very curious thing to find. Oh, hello there. I think you'll find that this one is my best side.
The readings are very inconsistent, Coordinator Laverne. Everything's down here.
Everything is up and down here, but it still doesn't explain how the animals are still alive.
Perhaps if we learned what caused the fluctuations.
Maybe they're connected. I know.
Merch.
What?
Look!
Holy.
Where did he come from?
And how is he even walking around out there?
Has he been there the whole time?
That surely wouldn't be possible.
Which means he must have arrived here. Somehow.
It's probably not human then.
What sector is that?
It's Sector 13.
Which is just one across from here.
He's moving off towards the base.
Well, if he gets any closer, we better nab him.
How very, very strange. A camera just sitting there in the middle of the rocks. I wonder, a wildlife documentary perhaps? Could David Attenborough still be at it in 2050? I don't think so. Well, where are all the people? I see footprints everywhere, but no people. Oh, tourism in 2050 on Galapagos is wild and... Hello, maybe you noticed something about it. Hello there. Do you know what made all the people disappear? What's going on here, eh? Well, what do we have here? What are you? You appear to be made of some sort of translucent material. Not earth-made, I'd say. Eh? What are you doing? Collecting data? On Galapagos, maybe. The animals? On me? I'm not sure I like being watched by you. Oh, too close for comfort!
Coordinator, look, here he comes now, through Sector 9.
He must be alien.
Well, probably.
Coordinator, there are no humans left alive here. We know this. The surveys were completely comprehensive.
Yeah, but surveys can have mistakes. You remember the one that came back from Titan suggesting that they had been swamped by rabbits?
We've been here for months. We'd know.
Alright, Merch, you're up. And remember, no longer than 12 minutes.
I know.
Lots of little birds, yet no humans. What is going on Galapagos? Or is it just Galapagos? This is disturbing. Another one of you. The sonic key could help. Definitely interdimensional. Varying degrees of radiation. Surely there must be somewhere on around here who can tell me what's going on. Oh my God! A person! A real person! I am gratified!
Who are you and how did you get here?
The usual way. Hey, these floating panels, have you seen them? What are they all about?
No, you keep away from them. They're dangerous. I'll get you.
Get me? Get me what?
Come on, you've been out here too long.
Coordinator,
What is it?
Robot Site Survey 7 has stopped.
What?
It's not responding. There's no vision, no readings.
That's not possible. Those things are self-repairing. They have a life of 1,000 years, and that one's been in service, what, maybe 5?
Nevertheless,
Coordinator,
Ah, right.
I'm just going to work on that robot.
In anticipation of your first question, I'm the professor. And, I don't have one of those. In anticipation of your second question, white, no sugar, I'm sweet enough already.
What?
Tea, I was talking about a cup of tea. You drink, it's a drink, it's an infusion to think, and I like your uniforms.
We're incognito.
Very incognito.
What are you doing here?
Well, you know, I've always wanted to visit Galapagos and meet Charles Darwin, and yes, I know. I'm a little bit late for that. I love my ship, I really, really do. But it has, shall we say, issues.
Coordinator, clearly he's unhinged.
Your spaceship.
Yes.
What's your interest in Earth?
Oh, I love Earth. I visit Earth all the time. And I have been meaning to visit Galapagos for centuries, but just never really got round to it before. So, I'm going to take a stab in the dark. You guys are not from Earth.
Of course we're not from Earth.
Why would you say, of course? Look, honestly, I am eternally grateful that you didn't greet me by, brandishing guns in my face, because I've had enough of that to last 7 lifetimes. But clearly, there's something up here. You didn't come all the way across the galaxy to enter a luau contest. You don't look military.
Well,
Don't tell him.
I don't see what the harm can be. He's one man, on a small island, on an almost empty planet. We're not from Earth, but we're from one of its colonies. Turinian 5.
Oh, Turinian 5, but... Wait a second. I checked the date before I left the TARDIS. This is the year 2055.
So it is.
So the colony of Turinian 5 wasn't founded until the 33rd century, and so that must mean that You're all time travelers.
Well, you see, Professor, our time sensor technology was able to scan the whole of time to check for disruptions. With so many moving forwards and backwards, we needed to check that no damage was being done.
The system detected a haze moving backwards through time that was enveloping all of Earth and humanity.
Whilst our presence remained firm, our past disappeared. Life on Earth disappeared all through time up until this point in 2055.
But why here, on Galapagos?
Well, Laverne's wanted to go to ancient Galapagos ever since she graduated.
It's also coincidentally the only place we've been able to find in all of history, and geographically, where there's still life left on planet Earth.
Fascinating. I wonder what Mr. Charles Darwin would have to say about all this. But still, it doesn't explain the floating panels. What is happening here? How come Galapagos is the only place with life on it in the year 2055?
Well, those floating panels killed. We lost 2 team members to them.
And as for your first question, well, I have no answer for that.
Coordinator, it's happened again. One of the robots has been destroyed. Number 9 this time.
Number 9.
Number 9?
Number 9.
Take an anti-rad and get ready, Merch. Go and bring the thing back.
Oh, I could go too. I'm very helpful, you know. And I could look at the problem from a different perspective. How strange. What's the source of radiation?
You do ask a lot of questions.
Only way I know to get answers.
We don't know. The whole planet's been mapped for radiation. This is where it's heaviest.
Strange. Stop.
What?
You feel that?
What?
Vibration. Maybe I'm imagining it. Okay, buddy. I'm gonna find out where you're from. Return to sender, I think.
What do you make of him, Laverne?
I don't know, but I don't trust him.
No!
What is it?
Merch's tracking signal, it's completely stopped.
Oh no. It couldn't be. A secret door in the lagoon? Oh, that would be right, wouldn't it? Okay, Professor. You're the only one who can work out what's going on here. There's no other option. You've got to go in. Oh, goodness me, I didn't realise I'd have to go for a swim. Oh, what's that? Oh, self-drying service, that's nice. Where do these tunnels go? Goodness me, where does this lead? And oh, look at that. Are you connected to what's happening in there? Interesting, let me see. According to these instruments, this is powering some sort of giant shield. It's hiding the entire population of Earth. billions and billions of people. Who would want to do such a thing? In all my years as a Time Lord, I've never seen such an elaborate conjuring trick.
Oh, no trick. So, you're a Time Lord. Well, as long as you're not from Tyrinian 5. Now come with me.
Wow. These are some big engines. Wouldn't want to spend too much time in this area. Not with all the radiation.
Well, I'm only here for the length of my shift.
Shift?
5 years. Keeping the power flowing and protecting the Earth.
Hello, what do we have here? A vortex manipulator? You're from the future as well.
That's right. Time technician Gerard Hunt.
So, time technician Gerard Hunt, what exactly is going on the Earth right now?
Well, life goes on as normal, but you need to leave. Before you break down the barrier and Laverne and her crew wreak havoc.
Laverne, what are you talking about? That research crew?
That's right. The future. They destroy it. They cause an explosion that starts a war that never occurred in the original version of Earth's history.
I met them. They don't seem like warmongers to me.
Oh, it was an accident. There were nuclear-powered ships on the Pacific, a nuclear-powered submarine. The explosion wiped out, as far as we can tell, the entire Galapagos Islands.
I have seen their equipment. It doesn't require a lot of energy. In fact, I wouldn't be surprised if they're just using solar battery cells. They couldn't have caused such an explosion.
There is a record of the explosion on the sub, the first of the fleet to be destroyed.
That's quite the conclusion you've reached.
This is all in Earth's history as we know it.
What about the time barriers? You do realize this means now that no one from Earth can even leave this planet. Think about that. They'll never leave Earth. They'll never colonize other planets, including your own. They'll never create the time technology then that allows you to go back in time to the same point in history as Laverne and erect the time barriers in the first place.
What?
The Belenovich limitation effect.
Oh, the barriers only last for 300 years, and then life on Earth will go back to normal.
300 years. Do you realize that is going to put Earth's history back immeasurably? I can't allow it.
What a typical Time Lord thing to say.
Look, I tell you what. Would you at least allow me to go back to the base and talk to Laverne and see if I can convince her and her crew to leave Earth so that there is no chance of this happening? What do you say?
All right, Professor. You're the Time Lord. Who am I to stop you?
Laverne, Thermistor, good to see you.
Professor, what happened to Merch?
I'm sorry, one of the flying panels, he's dead.
I knew we couldn't trust you.
Look, I have just been out there and I met a man in his own personal bunker. He is a time technician.
A time technician? Here?
Yes. I've come back here to try and convince you, please, to think about leaving the Earth now before you begin a chain of events that results in a war and a nuclear holocaust.
You what?
Laverne, I told you we were being watched.
Except it doesn't make sense. He said you were responsible for starting a war by destroying a nuclear submarine.
With what? Imaginary weapons? We have stunners.
Well, what about your setup here? How do you power all this?
Solar.
That doesn't make sense.
You're the only thing that doesn't make sense, Professor. Time technicians, really, you expect me to believe that? There's only one person responsible for the death of my crew and failure of this mission. And I'm looking right at him.
I'm sorry, what was that?
I'll kill you!
Well, Thermistor, shooting a commanding officer. Maybe in a little bit of trouble. Oh, what is that in my pocket? It's burning my leg. It's... Uh-oh. Oh, I think this is a... I'm just gonna...
That is a...
Yes, and it's one of... And it's gonna explode, and... That's it. That's why Hunt let me go so easily, of course. The time barriers. They must be run by huge engines. Oh, it's not your setup. You guys didn't cause the explosion and then the war. It was Hunt. Oh, of course, how could I have been so stupid? He's the one. His barriers must have huge generators. They must have exploded and they caused the war. How could I not work that out? Yeah, it was just there in front of my face.
Professor.
Yeah. I just couldn't see it. It was like,
Professor.
it was so obvious.
Professor!
Yeah?
Bomb!
Some days you just can't get rid of a bomb. Alright. I'm coming to see you, Mr. Hunt. Okay, back again. Yes. Alright. Okay, I'll just use you there. That's good. Alright. Let's just see if
Professor, what are you doing?
I'm trying to save the Earth.
Well, I think you better come with me back to the engine room.
Look, would you just listen to me for a second, please, Gerard?
Oh, I'm listening.
It wasn't the generators from Laverne's crew that caused the explosion. They're not big enough.
Then who was it?
It was you. Look, the generators for the time barriers, they are the only ones that have enough power to cause an explosion that could do what it did.
That's ridiculous. The generators have hundreds of safeties in place.
Really? So tell me, where is the main generator point?
Time Lord and their meddling. It never stops, does it?
Are you aware that this region of the Earth is one of the most volcanic parts of the entire planet? And by my calculations, it's due for a major eruption in the next 6 months.
What?
You need to check your history before you come back and start, erecting giant nuclear-powered time barriers.
I've had enough of this. Get out!
Can you control the forces from below the Earth's surface?
I want you to run back to your TARDIS, or I'll start operating the hover panels to remove you from the Earth. What are you playing at?
Look, my dear Gerard, I've got some bad news. Well, actually, it's good news. I've already initiated full shutdown procedures.
They're not possible from that console.
Oh, I think you'll find it is with a little know-how and a thing I like to call my sonic key.
Well, luckily I know that they take about a week or two to shut down, so I can easily reverse it.
Yes. Well, that's as maybe, but unfortunately you only have, by my reckoning, 3, 2,
You
1.
son of a...
Vortex manipulators. So easy to time a set. So easy to manipulate. So the threat is gone. The system itself is self-clearing, so there will be no trace of it within 7 days. The volcano is not due to erupt for some time yet, so it'll just bubble along, and I think we're out of the woods. Are you okay, Laverne?
Just about, I think. I suppose it was a good thing that Themester stopped me from stopping you.
Sorry about that.
Well, at least people have returned to Earth and Galapagos now.
They never really left.
Well, either way, we'll be off shortly, only the two of us. I don't fancy playing with time anymore after all that's happened.
Well, that's good to hear.
I suppose I can forget what's happened and the whole being shot thing. There'll be enough questions on our homecoming.
Yes, well, I suppose I too should be going. Although, I have to say,
What?
I have one regret from my visit to Galapagos. I came all this way and I got to meet Laverne. I never got to meet Shirley.